everyone, it's Adrian Leah. This is going to be a somewhat quick reading. I will ramble a little bit before starting the reading. So maybe you might want to skip a couple minutes if you don't want to hear the rambles. But I was planning to do readings and a video last night, and I fell asleep. I don't feel like I was doing anything too strenuous yesterday. I went grocery shopping, and today I fell asleep for a little bit. We got food at work, and I picked the fisherman's stew. So when it came to us, the container that my food was in, and like the sides and everything, it had like plastic on top of it. It was in a sealed container though. So I tried to finish as much as I could, and I guess I got sleepy. It might also be because I didn't go to my godmother's last week too. And for the past couple of months, I've been going there every weekend to check up on the cats. And maybe it was a catch up. I am doing stuff with my car to get it ready to sell before I move. I might have to take a trip to Scotland next month because is it the realtor that the company that I wanted to see a couple of properties in the UK was telling me that, sorry, I jumbled that sentence, but I wanted to see a couple of properties, and I was trying to just do it from a distance, but they were saying that they will rent to people unless they see it in person. And I'm just like, girl, did you not read my email? I'm across the pond. And they tried to accommodate it, saying that maybe you can have like friends or family see the property, and I don't know anybody in that area, so I will have to see the places, and then maybe I can get a couple of other things done there in that trip. So another thing that was interesting, like the night before, I had a vision of like a purple eye, and it was like third eye basically, which was interesting because I have only had this happen once, where somebody was able to contact me in that way, and it was when I was younger and I was a waitress, and there was this elderly woman who had her business with doing various types of work with cleansings and other things of that nature, and I kind of just stopped going. Well, one of the main reasons was that it was out of my way. It was pretty far for me at the time, even though I do drive a lot for long periods of time sometimes. And still remember when I dreamt, or I was sleeping one night, I did have her come into the dream, and she was just like sitting down, and she was there, and you could tell what's part of your dream and what isn't part of your dream. And so that was definitely different. And yesterday I had the same thing too, because I wouldn't say I'm necessarily hard to find, but I feel like he definitely knew me well enough to find me. So I thought that was interesting. I'm going to let me start the reading. There's an interesting thing that I was thinking about too, and it's like, say you have a journal or a diary that you've kept, or you've written in here and there. I've had journals that I would carry with me for years, and I'm pretty picky about the journals, so it'd be a leather journal, and it wouldn't have lines on the pages because I tend to write small, and I tend to organize it in a certain way when I write. I like that it didn't have a super distinguished binding to it, because I'm left-handed, so I think I'm picky about stationery in general, and the pencils and everything, even though when you're left-handed, a lot of things are made for it's for right-handed people, so you do make those adjustments, and it tends to be that way. A little off topic, but when you write these journals and maybe you look back on them, they have a tendency of making an impact in a way where sometimes it makes you cringe. And it's not the worst thing, because it is one of those signs that you've grown from those experiences. And I guess one of the things that is pretty prevalent for me is like, maybe if I had a situation or relationship that really wasn't healthy before, when I would have all these things that would happen that were pretty disastrous and sad, at the end of it would be hoping that things would be okay in terms of working on that relationship at the time. And now that I look back on it, I'm like, you understand what's okay and what's really fucked up about things. And a part of it is feeling that that's the love, or that's the affection, or dynamic between people that the relationships that I was familiar with and that I knew. So it was kind of just being in that corner, being in those positions where things would happen, and where he would leave for maybe 2 weeks and come back, and then give all those types of affection, then later act like my existence meant nothing. And I'm not saying that I didn't do anything fucked up. Of course I've done fucked up things in my life, but it's those types of dynamics and situations where now you look back and those are those kind of cringe moments where you're just like, I know now that that is not a good thing. Because you have the Hermit card that comes out in the Universal Folk Tarot as well as the Glory to Ukraine Tarot. And the owl stands out to me because, like, when the owl is able to turn its head, it feels like it symbolizes being able to see different things from different perspectives and even in a timely manner. Because really, time reveals a lot of stuff. It tells you the things that, whether it was a good thing that you've done those things or maybe it was a lesson that was meant to be learned, maybe something that seemed to be not a good thing, like if it ended, it ended up being like a saving grace, or it ended up being like a type of like salvation type of energy. Not all things, like, I'm not getting like endings necessarily in this reading in that way, especially, well, in terms of relationships I'm not seeing that, but I feel like there's a bigger picture for the reading in, well, anyway, it also is giving respect to those people that are involved, and sometimes those circumstances are put to the wayside or it's not addressed as immediately. Sometimes the answers that you get are the answers that you're looking for, or the answers that are going to be the saving grace at the time. So other things with the journal entry, especially when you're in your, I guess, hormonal phases, growing up, you have such intense emotions and such maybe obsessions with certain things. At one point, maybe a week or a day, a couple of months, maybe a year, pretty immediately, you notice these patterns where it maybe doesn't exist anymore in your everyday life or your mindset as much, because that's what time does. I guess what I was trying to get at is that there's a lot of intense emotions that come out of it at this time. There is a consistency, though, which I find is interesting, because the Hierophant is here. That was in the past card too, or past position too. The Chariot comes out twice in this reading, so this is one of the Chariot cards with the Hierophant card and the two of it's like the Two of Cups. So there's the Chariot. And the Chariot is also in the Angel Tarot. So there's a lot of cards out as usual with the Strength cards. So I'll read these right now. I would say the Strength because I read that one first. It goes before the Chariot, even though numerically it's not the case. So you have The Strength card, great inner strength, release harsh judgments, forgiveness, and compassion with the Chariot. Archangel Ariel and the Chariot Archangel Metatron, an important achievement, self-discipline, willpower, public recognition. With this, I feel that standing your ground is going to be important in order for you to move forward, which seems a little bit of a paradox in itself, but and just to say, our Archangel Ariel did come out more than once, because she came out in the Angel Oracle too, and I'll show that. There's something unyielding that comes from this Strength card. And that sense of focus that comes from it. So it's almost as if there's like a direct path that this Chariot is going on. And it's one that doesn't really take detours. It's not one that stops for anything aside from maybe gas, if that's what the type of Chariot it is, or some type of mystical one. But with the two horses, it being almost resembling yin and yang. It's like the balance of everyone being on board, or everyone kind of knowing what the role is or the purpose of this movement is going to be. So I'll also show the oracle cards now. Sorry, this will be a little jumbled up. So the Archangel Oracle, this is the Courage card. Archangel Ariel, be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. And me jumping again, sorry, to go to the Ten of Cups. I just feel like everything wants to talk right now. And there's the Ten of Cups, one of my favorite Ten of Cups that come from the Tarot of Mystical Moments. Because the symbolism of holding hands behind their back, which kind of symbolizes being loyal behind your back. I think one of the biggest compliments that I've gotten over the years is somebody telling me in high school, like, people like you because you respect yourself. And it's not necessarily just presenting yourself like physically. It's a couple things: how you treat yourself and how you treat other people. Also, I would feel like genuine reactions too. And being able to present yourself as yourself, genuinely yourself, can really bring in the people that are necessary in order to move forward with this Chariot. That can be unyielding too, in a world that seems to be more confined, even though they tell you that they want you to be yourself. Well, there's always a price for everything when you're trying to be yourself. So not only is it loyalty to you as a person, but also when you're loyal to yourself, it does bring in, for some reason I was getting revenue too. So it is bringing those energies, not only people, but your environment, the things that are necessary. The other oracle cards are Archangel Jeremiel, all is well. Everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to. With hidden blessings, you'll soon understand. When I pulled this card, I did get a vision. And usually that's what happens with Archangel Jeremiel with me, because, well, half my chart is in Scorpio, and that's the Archangel associated with Scorpio. And it was like being locked in a tower. And it was kind of like somebody coming into the jail cell and being like, this person isn't good. And they go into your jail cell and basically giving your death wish. But the last moment, it's like, no, you're fucking not. And then you just kind of do what you have to, like, you push them off of you or fight them back and then dash out of there. And that's part of the chariot movement too. It kind of brings it into a new energy of momentum. There's a lot of momentum that's coming from this. And all the hidden blessings that you'll soon understand. I feel like, I don't know what it does when I share some of my experience of life, but it feels like it's also necessary too, because I don't really talk about myself, surprisingly, a lot in general in real life. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily private in that way. If somebody asks, I'll give my answer. And I'm not afraid to give the answer that I give. That's another thing. Don't be afraid to be a villain in somebody else's story. Especially when you're protecting maybe yourself, you're protecting somebody else that you're dedicated to give your dedication in that way to, maybe something that you love, like maybe your animals or just some type of purpose like that. I'll be honest, I was talking and I tend to lose thought sometimes, but I'll keep reading the oracle cards and I'm sure it'll cycle back into my brain. So it's the Spiritual Understanding Archangel Raziel. I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truths. What's that? Nope. Then brilliant idea, Archangel Uriel. Yes, your idea is divinely guided. Please take action to bring your idea to fruition. Which kind of feels like this is linking to communication too. I am getting, at least for this reading specifically, in case anybody wants to say anything, which I doubt, but sometimes. Also linking to like Mercury energy. Interestingly, because we are in Leo season right now. We just got into Leo season. And that could be where Archangel Ariel is coming from for this, with it being the Strength card. So that could be a dominant energy at play right now. And to be careful how you play your cards. You're not the only one looking at them. You have the Comfort card, Archangel Azrael. I am with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. Oh, a great idea. I am finally making my investment. I'm gonna make a separate video on it anyway, because I've been enjoying making vlogs just to show different things. I'm investing in a USSR spinning wheel, electric spinning wheel, for a couple of reasons. I might show it in a video log format, but I just thought it was kind of exciting because I thought it would, it's a good time, and for some reason it feels like a good time to get it. I had another spinning wheel in mind too, but one of the main things is that in the description it says it's like fucking heavy. I didn't want to add that to my list of things to, ship over. I might just, if it's still available, I'll order it when I'm in the UK, because it's been like almost a year, I believe, or no, it's been like maybe 7 months since I've seen that, and I was like, I'm still wanting to get it. It's a different spinning wheel. It's a castle wheel, and I've wanted a castle wheel. But going back to the reading, I really feel like there's just such a prominent energy with this Ten of Cups, especially when you stand your ground and you're still consistent even towards the end. Because towards the end, a lot of fucking shit can happen, but you really recognize the value of what you're trying to do. And sometimes you don't know what you're trying to do, but you know the direction where you're trying to go. And what's the point of doing something else that honestly might hold you back, or might delay that, or might compromise those outcomes that you've worked so hard to accomplish? You're going for the win. And with the Ten of Cups, it seems like it's already there. So this is ground up energy, the present. 25 minutes or 27 minutes in, you're looking at the present cards with the 10 of Swords and the Tower card. So a lot of, I would say, final words that are being said, at least at this time. Of course, even though it's like ending cycle type of energy with the 10 of Swords, and things changing drastically with the Tower card because of that, it's not always the end all be all. It does make an impact for sure, because you have the Tower card. Those words that they hit hard. And I'm gonna say with the future cards, since it seems pretty eager to be shown, there's a couple of them because of clarifications. With the Hermit, it does cause you to make new plans, or to really feel the situations, because it's almost like those, like shopping. I know it's completely different, but maybe shopping for, say, a wedding dress, and one of the things, because I just watched it, they're like, keep an open mind. A lot of times when you choose your wedding dress, you choose something that you wouldn't expect yourself to choose. So that's what the Two of Wands is feeling like to me. And with the two Hermit cards, I feel like those are really important cards to have. Probably one of the most important cards to have in this reading, because it really sets you up. Remember what was done in the past and how you can make things better, because with the Tower card here, something was not stable enough to withstand this test of time. And when I was thinking about the spinning wheel, one of the things was like these older models of contraptions, like machinery, buildings, a lot of times they're made to last. And with production these days, and needing to make the dollar, whatever the currency you have, tends to be more on the fast fashion side, if you know what I mean. So there's a sense of quality that comes out of this too. The tower's coming down. So how are you building it up again? And that can be the fun part of the Two of Wands. Also, with the Hermit card, you're really thinking about what's valuable when you're recreating this. When you rebuild that tower, you're taking away, you're stripping away those things. Well, it seems like the system, it seems some type of like a government thing. Although a lot of times it's of the lesser evils, because a lot of times governments are just like, you know, there's a lot of fucked up things about them. So how can you optimize something into making it as quality of a product as you can? I pulled out a couple cards because I didn't want to end on the Devil card, and you don't have to have like religious connotations with it. But with that fireball, it just has the energy of destroying anything that comes in its way, like that that's in its path, because that's what it is. And as I say that, my ears ringing, because fire is fire, and when it's not contained, when it's not focused, when it's not concentrated, it has a lot of devastation to it. And that's what I feel like is linked to the Tower card. It's also 15. The Tower card is 16.